Most online creatives don't understand the importance of connecting their personal brand to their business. So in today's training video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can go ahead and build your personal brand in 2020 and connect it to your business. What would be the real point of even disconnecting the two when you're the face behind your brand? So I want to show you the key things that you need to do in terms of building your own personal brand and connecting it to your dream online business. So you're not alone here. When I first got started, I thought that my personal brand and my business needed to be separated. And so I really realized that people weren't just buying into my personal brand, but they were buying into me as a human being. I think the moment that we begin to take the whole customer client experience to really that human place of realizing that these are people that you're selling to, these are your clients that you're connecting to in the online space, that you begin to come from behind the wall and behind the camera and really take the time to connect to your clients and your customers. Now, we all know that when you first get out into the business world, obviously you have to find out who you are in that particular state. And it's the same thing even when you do something like YouTube, where you're beginning to show up on online platforms. But I believe that the key thing that has to be done is to just realize that you're talking and you're connecting to human beings. It's the same way that you feel when you go out to make that purchase of that service or whatever products you absolutely love. You want to know that the people that have produced the products and the services that you are buying into see you as a human being, especially if you have an issue. So first, really fast, I want to dive into the keys that you need to be able to build your personal brand. So the first key that you need to make sure that you have in place is to really be authentic. You want to be yourself no matter what. Even if you're impressed by the next person that has inspired you to do what it is that you do, remember that people are looking for you. They're looking for you as a personal brand to be able to connect with. And the truth of the matter is that if you are not authentically yourself, and when people find out, then that's just one lost follower. Now, rather than being put in that category of that place of your character being compromised, just from the beginning, be exactly who it is that you are, as authentically and as organically as possible when you are building your personal brand. Now, the next key is going to be for you to make sure that you can be yourself even at work, so to speak. You don't want to kind of be someone totally different as soon as you get out of quote unquote work mode. But you want people to be able to say, hey, I know that lady, I know that entrepreneur, I know that business owner, and I know that she is the same no matter what. Because I think that when people have become, let's say, your personal fan, or they really love your work, or they bought into your particular product, service, and company, and they do have the opportunity to be able to see you up close, you don't want it to be said that you're a totally different person over here than you are over there. And I've known instances where this has happened to people, whereas they have a certain kind of presence online, but then when you look farther and deeper into who it is that they claim to be, they're totally different. So be you even at work. The next thing you really want to do, which I consider to be a key of building your personal brand, is that you become known for something. You want it to be known that when your name is dropped in a particular circle, that people automatically think of you for that one thing. And so I had a girlfriend that I spoke to recently, and she's like, oh, I referred this guy to you. And I told him you were like 3 different things. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She said, I told him that you were a brand specialist. I told him that you were a marketing specialist. I told him that you were this amazing digital marketer. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. That was me being placed in this position in terms of my friend relaying my expertise to this gentleman that she wanted to put in contact with me for work, that those were the things that I was known for in terms of my expertise. Now, because I'm definitely a multifaceted diamond, I'm known for several different things, but when it comes to the online space, I am the lady CEO. Now, the real next key that you want to connect to in terms of building your personal brand is trying to figure out who your audience is. Now, I know a lot of times we probably have this mentality when we get first started in business to just build whatever it is that we're going to build, and we think in our minds that people are just going to come, but no, it doesn't work like that. You have to get your ideal client avatar in your mind. You got to know what she likes, where she shops. Is she a mom, a wife, a college student? You need to be clear on who it is that you want to serve as your audience. Because if not, you'll begin to have a targeted audience that is connected to you and attracted to whatever it is that you're putting out there. Maybe you might not be 100% happy with the clientele that you're attracting. So from the beginning, you know exactly who your audience is. When people show up to want to work with you, then you'll absolutely know that you put out a certain kind of quote unquote vibe to be able to attract that particular kind of audience. So you want to get absolutely clear about who this audience is and what exactly it is that they consist of, what they have, who they are, what they like. I mean, all of the things. Now, this last key that I believe that you absolutely need that connects you to really discovering your personal brand has everything to do with you also connecting it to your business. Now, as an aspiring entrepreneur, if you're just starting in terms of building your online business, even if you've been in the online business space for some time, it's important for you to make sure that you are building your online presence. Why? Because you need clients and you need customers to be able to buy into you as a brand. And so one of the ways that I've learned that you can absolutely build your personal brand by building your online presence is to really invite people into your story. Now, understand that for some people, this might be a really guarded process, but it's always up to you as to how much you share with people. So I've seen people in my industry share a whole lot in terms of what was going on, you know, in their life at that moment that might have been traumatic. And I've seen people that have been kind of guarded in terms of making sure that their quote unquote family is protected in the process of them becoming an influencer or a really well-known person. Now, you might be wondering what's my preference when it comes to really building my online presence and telling my story. I believe in using wisdom in terms of making sure that my family is covered as I grow in terms of people knowing me on the online space. But then at the same time, I believe in sharing components of my story so that I can consistently inspire people and let them know that I'm human at the same time. And so what this builds is the infamous know, like, and trust factor, when people can have a chance to realize that you can connect with them based upon some of the experiences that you have been through within your life. Now, if you begin to really do some research, you realize that some of the greatest people that really grow, let's say their YouTube channels or their online presence, really share their story. Like, you have insight as to something that has occurred in their life, or if not, a lot of different things that have occurred in their life. So just be willing to tell the different components of your story if you really are interested in building your brand, which would connect to you building your online presence. Now, one of the most amazing things that I love about building a personal brand that can connect to your business is that the truth of the matter is that as people get to know you as you, in terms of knowing you within your business, you have an opportunity to show people that you are truly multifaceted. So, of course, I encourage lady entrepreneurs that are aspiring to grow their online businesses, but then at the same time, I'm also a wife. I'm also in ministry. I'm also someone that absolutely loves to cook and clean. And so there are times periodically where I'll share that that within my story in terms of building my personal brand. But then at the same time, with regards to you expressing that you are multifaceted in terms of your area of expertise, you still want to make sure that you stay committed and specific and absolutely clear in terms of where you want people to be able to focus as they get to know you as a personal brand. Now, it's important that if, for example, you're building your particular personal brand to be known, let's say as a business coach, that you consistently put out content, stories, videos, blog posts, whatever have you, that would help people to understand that by them connecting to you, they can absolutely get the results that they're looking for in terms of what is required to be produced by a business coach. You want to consistently show people what the outcome will be from them connecting to your personal brand. How will they be made better? How will they get the exact results that they're looking for? This is what the whole customer and client relationship is truly about at the end of the day. How can you serve the targeted audience that you're putting out content to be able to reach? So as you go through this consistent process of trying to figure out what your personal brand is and how you connect it to your business, you really want to start off by making sure that you are really in tune with whatever your passions are in life. Your passions most oftentimes connect to your purpose. You want to ask these consistent circulating questions to yourself. What do you want to be known for? What is it that you stand for? And what do you want to be able to stand out for? Now, I stressed the fact that in terms of you having the needed keys to be able to build your personal brand, that you needed to make sure that you were able to identify who you wanted your targeted audience to be. Now, you want whatever tribe you're trying to build to be able to know you based upon exactly how they can identify you. So while your passion is absolutely important, you need to understand that your targeted audience is just as important. So you don't want to kind of just be putting out stuff that you primarily like in terms of building your brand, but you want to make sure that whoever your targeted audience is will be just as excited about whatever that passion is as well. And so that's what makes it business. Now, you also want to make sure that your particular personal brand and what you express in the online space in terms of your business has a level of consistency. Now, I've gone through several processes of rebranding myself. And initially when I had to go through that process, I was like, oh my goodness, I hope people don't think that I'm all over the place. I might be adding a brand color and taking one away. But then I realized that there is and will be just this consistent rebranding process as you grow, as you see life, as you connect to different people in the online space. There might be different components of maybe what someone else is doing that totally is something that you fall in love with. So while that is important, if you do decide to switch up stuff in terms of, let's say, your brand colors, or maybe let's say something that you're doing on your social media page, you just want to remain consistent with it over time. And if you'd like, then you can switch things up, but just keep in mind that you're going to have to switch things up everywhere. And so, for example, if you have certain brand colors on, let's say, your website, and you decide to switch things up, then you're going to have to change those same brand colors on your Instagram, because you want people to be able to follow you. And when they do connect to you, let's say on your website or on social media or wherever it is that they see you, maybe in a webinar, that they're able to identify you by your brand. So that brings me to you really trying to decide what social media platforms you want to be able to build your personal brand on, where you want to be known, where you kind of want to build a home. And so my number one suggestion when it comes to building a platform is that you create your own personal website. I've said this before and I will say it again. When it comes to your personal website, that is your home, that house your particular content that you're putting out in terms of your brand, that belongs to you. Unlike social media, whether that's Facebook or Instagram, which has the power to be able to delete your content, or let's say it just completely falls apart, then what are you gonna do in terms of being connected to your people? So my suggestion is that you go ahead and you build a website, or have somebody build you a website so that you can house whatever your personal business or whatever your personal brand is. And obviously the components that are connected to that on that platform. And then you decide on maybe one at first or two other platforms to begin to consistently show up on, whereas people can connect to you as a human being as well. Now, in this next component, if you don't remember anything else, remember this one. And that is that you want to make sure that whatever personal brand you're building, or whatever online business you're building, or just business in general, that your lifestyle matches the brand. One of the worst things that you could possibly do is be promoting a lifestyle that you are not living. That can be something that is super duper frustrating to the person that is inspired by what it is that you are promoting on a consistent basis. So for me, I talk about helping ladies to be able to live an intentional life that they love, helping them to build a business and a brand that they'll absolutely love. And I try my absolute hardest, even when the camera is off, to absolutely live that life. Now, do I have the ability, since I'm human, to do it with perfection? No. And the truth be told, I'll leave that up to God. In terms of Him being the only one that is absolutely perfect, I just do what I can as a human being that is committing to my own processes of living that intentional lady life, to be able to be an example to the people that I want to be able to follow my story as an inspiration, giving them the keys that they need to be able to build that life and that business that they absolutely love as well. So if you're committing to building this personal brand, which is obviously connected to your business, you want to make sure that you have the lifestyle to absolutely back it up. So those are the exact keys that I believe that you absolutely need to be able to build your personal brand in 2020 that will absolutely 100% connect to your business. Do me a favor in the comments down below and let me know which one of these tips really resonated with you and which one you're really going to go ahead and try to implement within your personal brand and business building. There's one more thing that I absolutely have to let you know, and that is that I absolutely believe in you. Do me a favor, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you again here soon. Ciao.